Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Press Box. Brian Carson here with my co-host Kenny Varner. How you doing, Kenny V?
I'm doing great. How about you, Brian?
Not too bad. We got all sorts of technical issues, which is great for tonight. Our guests are going to be Dave Burman, hopefully, and Joe Gilloway of the Linglestown Gazette Sports. He's a sports writer there, does some shows, streams on the internet with Billy Splain and PA Football News and other things. And it's great to have him on for the first time. Thank you, Joe, for coming on. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, as I was saying to people, we had technical issues right now to start off the show. We can't hear Dave and can't see Joe. But, you know, it's live. That's what happens. But I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to show. There's Joe.
That was 70 pounds ago.
There's Joe, and there's Dave. And so you can see what they look like. And we're going to talk football here and whatever else Joe wants to talk to. But let's get some perspective here. We were talking before we got on the air. Joe, you covered Central Dauphin and State College, and State College is a team we cover here in the Press Box. Tell us your thoughts about that game and your thoughts about State College.
Well, you know, Brian and Kenny, like a day or two before the game, like Wednesday or Thursday of last week, I was talking to somebody about it, just kind of casually talking. It was somebody I remember that had an understanding of high school football in the area. And we were talking about that game, and whoever it was said, you know, the one thing you can expect and you can anticipate is State College will not make any mistakes. And I thought, wow, that's a heck of a statement, you know. And they made so few mistakes Friday night. They had a couple penalties. I mean, I guess a penalty is a mistake, but you know, I was talking to you about they didn't allow Central Dauphin to flip the field. They didn't have turnovers. They protected the ball at the right times. I mean, I was very, very impressed. I've seen some good teams already this year. I've seen Central Dauphin, who I still think is good. I've seen Manheim Township, Harrisburg, Wilson, Coatesville, Central York, and I think that State College is good as maybe every one of them except for Manheim Township, at least at this juncture of the season. Point is that they're very good, State College.
Wow, that's a pretty big statement because, you know, all those teams you named, very, very good football teams.
Yep.
And well, the thing that impressed me, and we talked about that too before going on the air, State College, their fans were worried about what are they going to do for quarterback because the Fermanic, if I'm saying his name right, graduated, and they were like, who's going to be the quarterback? And this Corkery kid, my God, he's, and, you know, in his dual threats with Ty Salazar and Michael Gall, they're just throwing the ball all over the place that they really haven't needed big games from Sheffy.
I think, and I mean, I had some dissenters. I had some people that thought I don't know, for some reason I like I was being a homer for State College. I don't live anywhere near State. But I said they may have the best quarterback, running back, and wide receiver in the entire mid-pen. And I still think that they just might. I mean, I know Elias Koch at Harrisburg is very good, the sophomore. He had a huge game on, was it Friday night or Saturday? But those three, Brian and Kenny, are fabulous. All three of them.
Yeah, they got weapons. Yeah, they got weapons. And if they can throw, like, I agree with you completely, Joe. They have weapons like that through the air now, plus Sheffy. They are going to be very, very tough to beat. Ooh. Hey, Dave, talk to me.
Eric, you can hear me now.
Oh, yes, we can. Definitely. What was the problem?
My newer computer, I don't know what's going on with the microphone, but my wife said to reboot it, but I decided to go to my old computer, and it's working pretty good.
Unfortunately, we can't get Joe's camera going, but I have showed your picture. There's Joe.
Yeah, that's
Joe,
where
how
we
long
first met in person. So, yeah, Joe, tell the story how you got the. You actually talked to me a little bit. I was introduced to you by Ford Chapman, 2017, and just been guided you a little bit about what to do. So, yeah, tell us about your story, Joe.
Are you seeing me now or no?
No.
I got on my other computer and there's the video is up. But anyway, I started covering high school sports. It kind of happened like very organically. I became Central Dolphin girls basketball's public address announcer. I think I'm going on to my 9th year now, and through that, I kind of made some connections in like the high school sports community, which we're all here. Everybody on this show is in the high school sports community, you know. But just people like that, like Dave, and I knew Ford Chapman from college, but I had an opportunity to start this Linglestown Gazette Sports with a friend a guy I didn't know at the time. We became a friend, and I really didn't know if I wanted to do it or not. I just thought this is going to take up a lot of time, and it's going to make me have to be places I might not want to be. You know, like any other adult responsibility out there. And fortunately, I decided, I'm going to do it. And that's how Linglestown Gazette Sports was born. And we just, add a little bit more and a little bit more every year. And we're at the point now where we're not huge. We're still like a mom and pop, I call us like a corner store type of media outlet, but we have a lot of fun, and we put the student athletes first. We like coaches, we like kids, and that's and then that's how Dave and I met. We met on Severance Field the first time, or was it there at Harrisburg Christian? Dave, I don't. Can you hear me?
Dave.
Yeah, how you doing?
Can you hear
Brian,
Joe?
Are you getting a little? Yes, I can hear him. Are you getting feedback like echo?
No.
I am, but I can deal with it.
Okay. My computer is a little. This is a slow.
Go ahead and try talking.
Anyway, so I hear Joey loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot clearer now. Definitely.
Okay, so the problem's me and my mic. I muted my mic. Great time to have all this trouble tonight. So from now on, I'll ask a question and mute, so there'll be no echo. So, Joe, is Manheim Township the best team you've seen this year so far?
Yes. Now, I haven't seen Pitt Central Catholic or St. Joe's Prep, but with my own eyes, Manheim Township, they're just methodical. They're a machine. They barely allowed Harrisburg into their end of the into the field, past the 50. And then once Harrisburg did get past the 50, it was after everything was said and done. Dave, I think you might have watched that.
Yeah.
Right?
You're talking 6A right now, guys? Is that what you guys are talking about?
Well, we just started talking about Central Dolphin, and it kind of segued over to Manheim Township because I mentioned how good I think they are.
Yeah, they're loaded. But now we're talking 4A here, but Bishop McDevitt could probably beat them, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
two different types of programs. I mean, the way they put their teams together. I mean, McDevitt should beat them. Yeah, but we've talked about that before. But so 6A, yeah. So it's and then of course I'm public address announcer for home games, Coatesville football, and they just manhandled Coatesville. And what Coatesville needs to do, I think, maybe after this year, see what we're trying to do down here, Joe and Kenny and Brian. I know you guys are all in for this. And there was another article today about it from Pete. We're trying to get most teams to play. If you're 6A, play mostly 6A teams. You can have like one or two games maybe against a good 5A team. And then the 5A teams, 5A, 4A, and so on.
And we're trying to do that. Like Coatesville plays, actually, I think 3 5A teams. They play a really good one, Coatesville, second-ranked team in the state, Bayard Ruston, this Friday night. So Ruston might be able to hang with them. They're predicted to lose again. But it's really tough for a 5A school to hang with a 6A school. And, Joey, you know that for a fact.
It's tough for them to hang with a good 6A school for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, up here, we have, fortunately, like our Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division teams, they're all 6A, and they don't have to really go any further than 6A schools. There's no reason for them to have to schedule, let's call it down, you know, like Central Dauphin outside of the Commonwealth. This year they play Wilson, Central York, and Coatesville, 3 really good 6A schools. And I don't think that Coach Glenn McNamee struggles to find those 3 schools to schedule. You know what I mean? So why Coatesville has to do that? That I don't know. Or they're just, I mean, there's loads of 6A schools in District 1, isn't there?
Well, they're in the same league. They're like, you have Ruston's 5A. You got I'm trying to think of the other. Well, they played to 2 non-league games. Well, Penwood 6A. They played Academy Park, who's traditionally pretty good, but they're 5A. And so anyway, the bottom line is that's what we're trying to do down here. So 6A, yeah, right now, man, I'm looking. I don't know, Joe. If Manheim Township, who's better, Manheim Township or State College?
I think Manheim Township a little bit, not by much. I mean, I just said Manheim Township's like a machine, like real methodical. And State College, you could use those 2 adjectives too, you know. So they're both very, very good. Well, of course, well coached. I mean, we know both of those coaches are darn good. And this is kind of the years. Like I've seen Manheim Township, they're competitive even in their off years or their down years. But this is a year where everything kind of came together with experience and talent. And so this is their year to go as far as they're able.
Yeah, Coach Evans, of course, St. Joe's Prep. They're just loaded. This might be their best team ever. And they had McCord, who's doing great things at Ohio State, and Marvin Harrison and Trotter's son. But this team might be the best. We'll have to wait and see. But, you've seen what they've done to 2 Mid-Penn Commonwealth teams, Central Dauphin and Harrisburg, in the state finals a couple of times. At Harrisburg last year.
Ask Dave, Brian, and Kenny. Ask Dave who he picked to win the 6A state championship last year.
Who'd you pick?
Dave.
I predicted Harrisburg. I went against St. Joe's.
That wasn't. It didn't turn out too good, Dave.
I watched Dave do a phenomenal.
Mercy rule at halftime, just like St. Joe's Prep.
Oh, they mercy ruled not mercy ruled, but they blew out. St. Joe's Prep has played Harrisburg twice, Central York once, and Central Dauphin once over the last 4 or 5 years, and they've blown every one of them out. I mean, it hasn't even been close.
Right.
What do you think
Garnet
about
Valley,
this?
Yeah. Garnet Valley down here.
I was going to say, what do you think about
Garnet
State
Valley,
College and Harrisburg this year?
I think right now
State
College would beat them.
Joe, both of you.
State College would beat Harrisburg right now. Coach Calvin Everett from Harrisburg does a great job at they call it bringing his team along, and Dave knows that. He's been around Cal Everett long enough. They're going to be a whole lot better in weeks 8 and 9 than they were in weeks 1 and 2. He's great at that. So I would say if they played right now, I would probably choose State College because they look to be kind of primed already.
So, Dave, you said about Garnet Valley.
Garnet Valley won the last 2 District 1 District 1 6A championships. Had to play St. Joe's Prep. Our District 1 6A champ will meet St. Joe's Prep again in the state semis. And Mercy ruled both games. Not even close. And I predicted Garnet Valley to beat them last year, too. I kept going against St. Joe's Prep because that was still a St. Joe's Prep got blasted by Mount Lebanon out of Pittsburgh the year before in the state. So there you go. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And so State College really in District 6, hopefully Mifflin County should get in, right? They should end up at least 500. Because I don't know if Altoona's going to get in or not, but I would imagine that it's going to be Mifflin County State College in the District 6 final.
Yeah, Altoona's in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth, and they're not going to win many games there. So it probably will be Mifflin County and State College for sure. But, State College is just a different animal completely.
That's not a real sensible way of selecting those teams when Altoona plays such a more difficult schedule and beat Mifflin County 35-0.
They probably I don't know if it's that they have rules or not. Maybe they can go in no matter what their record is. Mifflin County, the school has a rule that they either have to be 500 against District 6, 500 in their conference, or 500 overall record. If they're below that, they can't go to the playoffs. Altoona might just put their guys in since they did win 35-0 and have a play-in game between Altoona and Mifflin County again to see who gets State College.
Right. That would make sense to me. Dave, what do you think?
Hey, do you remember?
You and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah. You remember District, the boys basketball 2000, it was 3 years ago, 2021.
Oh, my. I remember that all too well.
State College had 2 wins. Altoona had 2 wins. Mifflin County had 5. But again, Mifflin County basketball, they were playing a lot of smaller schools. I mean, they're doing that in basketball too. So Mifflin County had a bye right to the District 6 6A championship and played Altoona, and the game went overtime. Actually, it was a pretty good game. But you talk, and then Altoona won the game in overtime, and then they had to play Erie High School and lost by 60 points in that play.
I watched the overtime game. You turned me on to it. You said, Joe, it's on, and I turned it on, and it was entertaining. I mean, of course, it went into overtime, but you could see that.
What it does, it takes away from these teams that are playing. Well, we talked about it. Teams in District 3, especially, that grind all year, and then they don't get a chance to get in. And you see it in field hockey with District 6, 6A, 4A. You see it. It is what it is. We saw it in lacrosse last year with the Mifflin County. So. I think the solution was put them through District 3 because they played Altoona, Mifflin County State College play a District 3 schedule. But if they want to keep doing it, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. That would have to be the PIAA to get them to merge with another district for playoffs. Like wrestling, when they do regionals, it's District 6, 4, 9, and 10. All together.
It just seems watered down. It just seems like, teams like a couple of years ago, Juniata played Bellefonte. Bellefonte won 3 games and they were in the championship, which just doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm old school. I've always had the belief that if you're just me personally, if you're not at least 500, you shouldn't be a playoff team.
Right.
That's it. Period. Joe, what do you think?
Well,
there you go. Now,
hold on, Dave.
The only time I wouldn't agree with that, sometimes you just have to have, let's just say there's 8 teams that qualify. You have to have that 8th team, and sometimes that 8th team might be 4 and 6, but it might have won 3 or 4 really good games. As a rule, though, generally speaking, Brian, absolutely, but you can't just not have a team for that 1 seed to play. So,
that's true. That's true.
You understand what I'm like? Down here, we've had Carlisle the last couple years, and Dave, you know this. You follow it enough. They've kind of squeaked in the postseason, or sometimes it might be a Hempfield, and then they lose the first game automatically, no matter what. But they have to have that 7 and 8 team to be in there, and normally a 4 and 6 team doesn't get in 6A, but Yeah, sometimes there's pretty good 4 and 6 teams. There's never really good 4 and 6 teams, Brian. So your point's well taken.
Especially big schools. There's so few big schools in District 6, and there's like State College, Mifflin County, Altoona. I mean, that's it. That's it. So when district playoffs come around,
Yep.
I'm willing to overlook that. You're right. If they got a losing record, like if they don't get in, I don't want to see somebody just get right in, win a district title without at least playing a game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So 5A, Imhotep, Dave.
And the boys. Yeah, they are.
Go ahead. What about
Malvern
boys
Prep.
volleyball?
They picked up the Penn. Oh, okay. That's right. I'm on a little delay here. So
yeah, you
anyways,
need a
boys
faster
volleyball,
internet, buddy.
So that they get a bye right into the state tournament. Because Mifflin County doesn't have boys volleyball yet. I don't think Altoona does either. So, but 5A, Imhotep beat Malvern Prep. Imhotep is loaded. They're more disciplined this year, and they have a shot to win a PIAA state title. They've been there 7 times. They won 1, 2015. So, yeah, Imhotep. I am curious to see how if Ruston, the 5A school, number 2 in the state, can hang with Coatesville on Friday. And, of course, Chester will end up 8. My prediction, at least 8-2. They are playing a 6A school. They already got blasted by one 6A school, Perkins and Valley, 32-0, and they play Downingtown. But I think Chester has a shot to win District 1 5A. Ruston, Strathaven, they're going to be 6-0 after this weekend. So yeah, we'll play the winner of District 1 in the state center.
Well, the top 4 teams, man, is in your area. Imhotep, Ruston, Strathaven, and Roman Catholic. They're either 1 or 12 top 4 teams.
Again, yeah, Tyseer Denmark. Right before the season, Tyseer Denmark, who played his whole career at Roman Catholic, transferred to Imhotep. I'm not sure if he's going to be eligible for the PIAA state playoffs for Imhotep, but Roman and Imhotep will meet in the 5A. What is that? The district. That's a District 12 championship game, the city championship, and the winner eventually then goes to the state tournament. But Roman last year gave Imhotep a heck of a game. But Imhotep's been to the state finals the last couple of years and lost to good old regular public schools, Penn Trafford and Pine Richland in the state finals. So it could happen again this year. With Imhotep, get them out of there, get them out of the area, and you put them in the middle of nowhere. They got to be disciplined. You have different reps. It could be a problem.
Pine Richland dismantled them.
Can we talk about Mifflin County Cedar Cliff game on Friday night?
Wait, you're jumping ahead of me. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to ask Joe if he's seen Cedar Cliff and what he thinks of them.
I saw Cedar Cliff 2 Thursdays ago playing at Hershey, which was at Hershey Park Stadium. That's Hershey's home field. They looked very good. They were impressive. We ended up, Billy and I, on Billy's show last Wednesday, we had Coach Colin Gillen and 2 of his guys on, and they're in a good place this year, Cedar Cliff. I mean, I think, we knew they were going to lose to McDevitt, but I think they may end up 9-1 going into the District 3 5A tournament. They're going to just smash Mifflin County. I mean, I hate to say it. I know you might have some Mifflin County people watching here.
Oh, yeah, we definitely do.
Joey, I know 2 people on this show here tonight that will predict Mifflin County to win. Me and Kenny Barnes. He very rarely goes against Mifflin County. Then they play McDevitt, of course. But Mifflin County has played Cedar Cliff pretty tough. Did it last year. It's a home game. You can't see Mifflin County losing 3 straight home games. and you have your referees, you got the local referees. So, and Mifflin County has some players, right? They got the Parker Kearns kid. I mean, you've seen Brian and Kenny. Kearns, Eichhorn, the quarterback, he's going to set records. I don't know. And you got the Deacon Schaefer is going to be setting records. You got some good linemen. I saw film. Cedar Cliff definitely looks like the better team. They look a little bit late, but I just think if Mifflin County plays to their potential and keeps, I don't know if you want to, you get some, I don't know. I think Mifflin County is going to win in overtime, 27-24. How about you, Kenny?
Well, really would hate to go up against Cedar Cliff after getting the beatdown that they got against McDevitt. They're going to be ticked off coming into the game, and Mifflin County just won a game in its homecoming, and I think it's going to be.
So, Kenny,
believe it or not,
I'm the only one predicting Mifflin County to win.
Yeah, I'm picking Cedar Cliff in this one by 14.
I got it somewhere around 41-14.
Okay, Joe, you've seen Altoona. You've seen Altoona. You've seen Cedar Cliff. I mean, would Cedar Cliff beat Altoona?
Yeah, Cedar Cliff's better than Altoona. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Altoona. I tell you what,
I think like every game, the ones that Mifflin County has lost, Altoona and Lower Dauphin, the score was close with Lower Dauphin, but in both games, Altoona and Lower Dauphin, they got dominated on the line. And Cedar Cliff, I just think will be more physical on the line on both sides of the ball.
Way more physical.
And that'll be the difference.
Yeah.
Isn't the Mifflin County line getting a little bit better? I like that number 77. Peyton Kearns, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a wrestler too, right?
Yes.
And,
he's heavyweight for Mifflin County.
Isaiah Reed's the line coach, but this would be, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm just looking for what Shane Breon has done. You got to give him credit. Mifflin County football from 2014 to 2021 won a total. That's 8 seasons, 13 games. Did you know that? Just 13 games.
Yes, I knew that.
In the last 2 years, already year and a half, 9 wins. So
he's done a fantastic job. There's no doubt about it. But I just think Mifflin County's not ready yet. Not yet to step up against these teams. Well, nobody's ready for McDevitt. But these bigger physical teams like Altoona, Lower Dauphin was bigger, and Cedar Cliff, they're not there yet.
I think, Brian, it's to
Mifflin County last year.
I think it's to their detriment that they play such a soft non-league schedule. It just doesn't get you ready.
Yeah, and I know Shane's trying to better that because, even though it's not 6A, next year they added Selinsgrove, who is a top 10 4A power, and they have Hollidaysburg, which is a little bit better schedule. They still got Central Mountain, which they'll trample them.
Yeah,
but still not one school in the schedule.
No 6A schools at all. But
we'll have to wait and see. We'll see what happens Friday night. Is it homecoming?
It is homecoming, yes. But I like Joe's score. That'll get people listening here all fired up.
I have no dog in that.
I love it though. Jeez.
I think Mifflin County. Dave
Brian,
and I were doing a little bit of schedule watching. They're going to struggle with Cedar Cliff and Hershey, Mifflin County, and then I think they've got to win Redland. Redland's bad.
Yeah.
And then kind of the other one that's left with kind of a question mark next to it is Milton Hershey.
Yeah, they're
What do they have
3-2 right now.
Yeah, they have to win 2 more to get to 500, and those 2 would be Redland and Milton Hershey, I would think.
Yeah, because I know Hershey's not bad. They've lost Cedar Cliff and McDevitt.
Yeah, and they stuck with Cedar Cliff for a good part of the game. I mean, a good part of the game till like the middle of the third quarter.
So, Brian.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, this delay's crazy. I hear you, but it just takes a while when I ask a question for you to receive it on your end. So, what are Mifflin County's strengths in football this year?
Coaching's better. They actually do with this sophomore Landon Haig and Parker Kearns. They have decent receivers, decent quarterback, but their whole game plan rests on Deacon Schaefer. I mean, the 3 wins, he's had over 120 yards in each game. Their 2 losses, he had 64 against Lower Dauphin and only 6 yards against Altoona. So, I mean, Eichhorn's a good quarterback, but they are a run team first before pass. And if you make them one-dimensional, that's it.
All right. So there you go. It's pretty cool, though. You can actually see, like on YouTube, you can follow, when you're done your own games, you can actually have a chance to watch. So a couple of Mifflin County games have been on YouTube. The Hershey Cedar Cliff game was on. So, yeah, it's really cool. So, hopefully, I was going to ask, is it homecoming, guys, from Mifflin County?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see. So, all right. So, next up, what are we talking about next?
4A. Can anybody beat McDevitt, Joe?
I don't think, not statewide either.
No, that's what I meant. Statewide.
Crown them.
How about Aliquippa?
I don't think so. I think McDevitt's too good.
Yeah. So why are they? How many guys did they bring back from last year, McDevitt?
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
And all you need to do is, Stone and Rico Scott. That's really.
He does a great job. Wechter does a great job. I mean, he's got a good youth program, but he does a great job bringing kids in from other areas, other schools. He knows where his needs are, and he brings them in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Does he get? He only gets kids though from Dauphin County, right? Harrisburg area.
No.
It's not.
Saunders.
He doesn't go to
Lancaster County. Stone Saunders from Lancaster County.
You can don't like it is.
From Warwick last year, the baseball player in from Warwick, who I believe wasn't eligible for the postseason, and then he brought those.
How about Rico Scott?
He's from Harrisburg, but he brought those 2 kids in from Columbia, and I believe that they were both the transfer didn't go through. I don't know what the terminology is. But they were from York County, Columbia.
Joe, do you remember I announced that on the Columbia? Yeah, a small school. I announced that on the Big 60 shootout, and I told you were like, whoa, and they're going to be. You should be ineligible for the postseason, right?
I don't even think they're allowed to play in the regular season. I think it was blocked. I think the transfer was blocked, like the transfer from. The kid from Carlisle to Trinity a month ago, that it was blocked in the same fashion. They determined it was Jeremiah Hargrove is the kid from Carlisle. They determined that it was a football transfer. I mean, how could it not be?
Well,
why would you? I don't know, Brian. I know you didn't try to bring us in here just to talk about recruiting and transfers.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
How could you possibly, as a parent? I believe it was brothers down there, Dave. Brothers at down in Columbia. How could you all of a sudden say, let's send our kids to a Catholic school in Harrisburg for an education? I mean, there's Catholic schools down there. York Catholic, Lancaster Catholic. It was a clear-cut football transfer, and they have lots of those.
That's like, Joe, I don't know if you follow high school wrestling at all. But
I do.
That's like Bishop McCourt when they got suspended for 2 years. They were trying to say they weren't recruiting, and yet they got Jax Forrest to come. How would Jax Forrest, who was born and raised in North Carolina, know even where Bishop McCourt is?
Right. He wouldn't. I remember that case. Yeah, he wouldn't.
Exactly. So I'll get your thoughts on this then, since we're bringing that up. For a long time, they've been saying that Southern Columbia does it. What do you think?
Dave? Go ahead, Dave.
I heard they have some. I don't know. They have Joe. What you're more in the know about this than me. I heard they have something. I mean, Jim Roth is a legend. They should be playing 3 or 4. Why does Aliquippa have to go to 4A? They should be single A. And I don't know. You heard it. What is it? What's Southern Columbia have? It's a small little coal region town, Catawissa. I'm trying to think. They have like some kind of. It's not a co-op. It's honey. Do you know what?
Well, you're thinking of the Votech.
The Votech. I heard about the Votech. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a question I'm asking you guys. The Votech has their own football team.
No.
Why would they? I'm telling you, they do.
Southern Columbia Votech?
It is.
What, Southern Columbia Votech?
Here, I'm gonna cheat. I just was looking at this last week. It's I think it covers 2 counties up there. It's called Columbia Montour Area Vocational Technical School.
Oh wow!
Columbia
You're right.
Montour. They have a football team.
They're not very good though.
Well, no,
they haven't won many games.
But why would some of the kids play on their team? And I'm asking this because I don't know. And then some of them play for Southern Columbia. That's kind of slippery. Because
it's pretty much who the Southern Columbia wants.
Right.
You know what's great about Mifflin County being a 1-county school? You don't have all your kids. You keep all your kids home, and you can be a mega school powerhouse. How do you like that, guys? Mifflin County
has that. State College has that advantage. What do they have? A small Catholic?
Yes, they do.
Some kind of small.
They have, St. Joe's.
But
St. Joseph's.
They're not stealing away any of the State College athletes unless they're not good enough to play at State College,
Right. Well, they don't even have a football team. I think St. Joe's Catholic, they have basketball and cross country and that.
Mm-hmm. And soccer.
And wrestling.
No, they don't have a wrestling team anymore.
Yeah, we have Harrisburg Christian down here, and they're kind of the same. They have just kind of like a handful of sports, like you said, probably the same ones.
See, Pat Flynn left to take a job in Maryland, wrestling coach, and I guess they couldn't find anybody that could recruit like him. So,
David or Brian, if you want me to answer your question, I have no proof that Southern Columbia recruits athletes. So I hope they don't. I know that Jim Roth is a legend, great guy,
He is.
great coach.
He is.
But we know that the guy up in Berwick was a legend and won loads of games, and he was doing some stuff that they caught, and he got penalized for it. I think it was recruiting and maybe
the late great George Curran.
Yeah, man, changing graduation years, reclassifying kids. I mean, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gus Felder.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
Kenny. You'll be. They need to honor this team. 10th anniversary. Best team in 13 seasons of Ripley County football.
Yeah, they were.
2013.
They were the best team because despite the record, they played the Mid-Penn Commonwealth, which was brutal back then. And it's the only time in the program's history that they ever beat State College. The only time.
State College isn't easy to beat in a bad year for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good win no matter what.
So we got Steel High at single A. They're probably not going to be touched. And Southern Columbia in 2A. So Dave, 3A, Newman Goretti. Can they win it?
They almost did last year. Joe, you were not impressed with that game, but they lost. Who beat Goretti last year in the PIAA state finals? It was
Bell Vernon.
Bell Vernon.
Whitfield School. Yeah, they. I forget. I don't even check who's number one in AAA.
Bell Vernon is. Bell Vernon's 1. Wyomissing's 2, and Goretti is 3.
Well, Wyomissing's always they're tough sons of guns. I'll look for another Goretti Bell Vernon state final this year. Goretti will get it done. Philadelphia Catholic League, baby. DeAndre Swift.
Joe, have you seen Wyomissing at all, or is that too far out of your way?
No, I saw them beat Trinity. They're good. I mean, I don't know if they're very good because they struggled to beat Trinity. I think it's Bell Vernon again until. I mean, I don't use this too often, but until somebody dethrones them, I like Bell Vernon.
Yeah, the name escapes me. Don't they have that? Their top kid, isn't he going to Penn State?
Yes, the name will escape me too.
Yeah.
Bell Vernon only beat Newman Goretti 9-8 last year.
Yeah, that was a great championship game. I loved it. That defensive battle, it was awesome.
And they only beat Central in Martinsburg 21-17. So,
Well, Brian, yeah, you're familiar with Central Martinsburg. Really, really tough football. Bald Eagle 3A, right?
Bald Eagle area, they're only
they're
they're 2A. I mean, no, they're not going to beat Southern Columbia or any team like that. But they are a good football team. I've covered 2 of their games. They have quarterbacking. They've got 3 good wide receivers. They've got a solid defense. I think they're going to go undefeated in the regular season. Now, they stole that in District 6. They got Richland that's going to be there. But, Bald Eagles, really, really good team. And there isn't many really good teams in District 6. I guess State College, Richland, Bald Eagle area, I think, is one.
Bell Vernon's lost a game.
Yeah, but it was probably somebody really.
Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson was ranked 2 or 3 in 4A going into last week.
Oh, wow. 24-19, Bill Chirpex.
Yeah, that's not a bad loss at all.
Okay. All right, there you go. Boy, Joe, you're on top of this stuff.
Dave, I have nothing better to do.
You are on top of this stuff. I'm so glad that we can all, Brian, that you can. It's the first time you've actually you've talked to Joey. You know what he looks like.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean,
10 minutes.
This is it's pretty cool. I enjoy it. There we go. There's Joe.
Where's the one that we're standing on Severance Field? That's a legendary one. Or don't you have that?
I don't have that one. I do not have that one, but
Dave was pumped up that day. He grabbed the mic from me.
Dave's always pumped up.
He just grabbed it from me.
It was fun doing Harrisburg football. I did it from Public Address 2007. The last game I did was 2020, and then just getting tied up with the Coatesville down here, and then Chester and some other things. I haven't, and then they have their own guy. They have he's old school, and it's good to have a steady guy, announcer for both Central Dauphin East and Central Dauphin, right? Joey Gilloway?
Rick Fox, he's great. He does PIAA state championship basketball games now too. Not all of them, but some of them. So that means you got to be pretty darn good if you're getting that gig.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to change this to college football for 1 second. How do you not know that you only have 10 guys when Ohio State's on the 1 yard line?
That's bad in Pee Wee football.
Not that I'm a Notre Dame fan, I'm not. But how do you not know the defensive coordinator, the head coach, does not realize they don't have 11 guys on the field?
That's Al Golden.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Yeah, Brian, before anything else, you got to make sure you have 11 guys on the field.
Yeah, you start counting.
Then you can worry about other things. Brian, I'll let you guys talk about this after this. What I was thinking about after that happened is that definitely could have made a difference. When it's a situation where you're just kind of lining guys up, and they probably were anticipating a run at that point. I was sitting at home with my friends going, you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball. They were, a yard and a half at the most out.
Yep.
When you're just kind of packing that line, that makes a difference. You need all 11 guys for that situation,
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't believe it.
I can't answer that question. What was the question? How do you know how do you not have? I can't answer that.
How do you not know that you only got 10 guys on the field against Ohio State at the 1 yard line?
Kenny, Dave, help us out. How do you not know? I don't know.
Game on the line. The only thing I thought, Burman. Well, I wonder what Kevin.
Because I'm not a coach.
The only thing I thought about was what is Kevin Kodish thinking right now?
Hey, Brian. I don't know if you know Ford Chapman or not.
No, I don't.
Brilliant football mind. Dave, you'll vouch for that. I watched a lot of games with him because
Kyle
I stand on the sidelines of Central Dauphin games, and he counts himself. He's not even a coach. He'll go, they have 12 on the field. They have 10 on the field. He counts, and he's just standing there watching the games, and he sees it. So if Ford sees it, somebody should see it on the team.
Yeah. So, Joe, you besides the Gazette, then you do. You said you still do public address for basketball at CD.
Central Dauphin girls basketball. I kind of stumbled into that 9 years ago. I was asked if I would do it. They needed somebody, and my friend had a daughter on the team, and I first thought, I don't know if I want to do this, and I decided to do it. And I'll tell you what, it is a great, great place to be for, 2 or 3 months, 3 months in the winter every year, because it's a real high end product. Coach Randy Gambalungi, Dave knows him. He's a great coach, fabulous coach, great leader of of the young women. His program is top notch. Never runs out of talent. It's just a blast. So basically, that takes me away from other things for 10 games out of the winter season. But we still do a lot of other basketball stuff. We live stream entire games, from other gyms in the area when I'm not doing my public address announcing.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. Are they going to be good this year?
They're going to be very good. I think they can win.
Hey, Brian and Kenny, Joe, Joey's been to Mifflin County.
Yeah.
He cut off. Oh, you come up here?
I have a few times, for basketball.
Oh, cool.
Should I tell them the story, Dave?
Didn't go well a couple of years ago, did you, Joe? Did it, Joe?
Well,
you got thrown. They threw you out of the Mifflin County gym.
They escorted me out. They
did.
Me out. Yeah, they walked me out. The guy, the security guard, was about 83 years old, and he escorted me out. He had, when you're walking a perp around, you kind of put your hand on the perps, on the bad guy's like elbow, and you kind of you guide him out. You lead. He was doing that to me in front of everybody. It was bad.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What'd you do? Is it just cheering? I mean,
no. The official came over to report they go to the scores table and they report, charging on number 3 or whatever. And I was sitting about 12, 15 feet up, straight up. And for whatever reason, he looked at me. I didn't say anything. He looked at me. I said, "Is this your first game?" And he said, "No, it's my second." He said, "And you're out." And that was the whole thing right there.
Wow. Just for saying that.
So he must have. Whoever the referee was, he must have seen our conversation before the game.
Wow.
I don't know, because I go to lots of games and I never really got even close to getting thrown out of any other ones.
See, I was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't. After it was said and done, though, I'm going to tell all of you guys. I said to myself, I didn't raise my voice. I almost lip synced it because he was looking at me. But I still wish I didn't say it. Okay, I just want everybody to know that. It was kind of a wise crack. I was frustrated. The game wasn't going the way I was hoping, and I still wished I didn't say it. Well, I really wished I didn't say it at the time because I had to sit outside in my friend's Ford Explorer for like a good long time. The game went into overtime, and so it was a bad scene for me.
Okay, I'm a little surprised. I mean, that to me that doesn't seem like it was like, that big of a deal to be escorted out.
It kind of went along with how this particular official was like the whole game. I mean, he just didn't have control of things, and it was just bad. So
Joey Gilloway, public enemy number 1, Mifflin County.
So next time I went in next year, I wore like one of the rubber nose and glasses. And I did well, I wasn't still kicked out. I just did it for fun. But I walked in and I did a report from out in the hallway. And I
remember that.
I called myself Jim Galloway. Yep. Instead of Joe
Holy
Gilloway,
I remember that.
That was me.
Oh my God.
That was Jim Galloway.
I loved it. I was like, this guy's got a fake nose and glasses. What the hell?
That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember.
Yep. I had Central Dolphin parents sitting like all around me. They didn't even know who I was. And we knew each other very well. Yep.
I remember that. I'm like, who the hell is he?
That was Jim Galloway, Brian.
What's he doing? Now that you told me the whole story, that is awesome.
But I only did it for fun. I wasn't kicked. They told me I couldn't come back. Like I was just kicked out of the rest of that game. But I figured, what the hell? I'm just gonna have fun with this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's great.
Well, sadly, Mifflin County basketball, they don't play Central Dauphin anymore, dropping out of the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. What, a couple years ago already, Brian?
Yeah, they went to the Keystone. A lot of the sports went to the Keystone. Some didn't. Wrestling stayed up at the Commonwealth, and I know for a fact as long as Kirby Martin's the wrestling coach at Mifflin County, they will be in the Commonwealth. That's where he wants to be. To go against, I mean, you know, my God, Central Dauphin's a power. And Mifflin County's been a power. He wants to meet them every year. He can't blame him. Kirby's thing is, he likes to say iron sharpens iron. You only get good if you wrestle the best. That's it. But yes, it's like this year, I don't know. It's been, I do think we should be better than what we have been in sports, being the size of the school. But like this year, the fall has really been bad. The only two sports that are with winning records are football and volleyball.
Volleyball's girls volleyball.
Volleyball's having their best season ever.
Yeah, they're having a good season. I think they just lost to Lower Dauphin 3-0.
And they told me Lower Dauphin. Yeah, he told me Lower Dauphin's pretty damn good.
That's a good. Well, they've just won 3 boys volleyball state championships in a row.
Okay.
So that's a volleyball school, I would think. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually going to be, if they can win one more game, they're guaranteed their first winning season in program history.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's
because their best record ever was 7-10 last year.
Oh wow.
And it's this.
So you had the new coach on the air, right?
Yeah, I had her on the Husky Hotline on Big Louie Radio last week, Jen Slepica, and she's done a heck of a job. Mm-hmm. A heck of a job.
Yeah, they just couldn't win. I think they won like 5 total games ever in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth, so it just wasn't a good fit. So,
it was bad.
They're taking advantage of the situation, and hopefully Altoona or State College will match up with in the District 6 tournament. See what kind of progress
they sent you sent me their records. They were, before she got there, Joe. Mifflin County volleyball, girls volleyball, was 27 wins and 181 losses.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Well, then that's the difference, I would think. And then
my wife just said Indian Valley. My wife just said, because her daughter played at Indian Valley, and they said Indian Valley really was a terrible girls volleyball program also back in the day.
Did they have volleyball at West Snyder?
Honey, did they have volleyball at West Snyder? Absolutely not.
I know they had.
My honey can play some.
I know they had Cal chip throwing.
They had great soccer there. They had great soccer there. The first PIAA.
Yeah, 1973.
Yes, Fishbein with fish wrap or whatever you want to call them. 73, and then Middleburg the next year, 74. That only one class back then. That was incredible. But yeah, Jim Fosselman did a hell of a job. I'm going to say hell. Is that okay? Hell of a job with the Linglestown girls volleyball program. Jim Fosselman, who's now in his second year Juniata high school girls basketball coach. Did a great job. Yes, congratulations, Craig Bubb, new Juniata head softball coach, state runner-ups. And Joey follows all my stuff. He sees all. So Joey, I mean, you cover Mifflin County. I mean, they're still part. What's that, honey? Oh, okay. She's talking to the cats.
Craig's going to be on the show next week.
Good. What he got a terrible deal at Mifflin County. I don't know what him and Jack McCurdy. Terrible. Sorry, that's my opinion.
My first question I'm going to ask him is, why the hell did they hire you?
Craig Buck, man. He lives and dies softball. And
so,
Joey,
Joe, when you're doing the PA, do you get to cover much basketball then?
Yeah, I still do. I still go to. I mean, it's like 10 games a year, really, because after like 10 home games, then you get into the postseason. Then you start playing on the road a little bit, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it might be 10 or 12 games. And when I went to school, it was cut and dry. There was like boys basketball was like Tuesday, Friday. Girls was like Monday. Now it's all different nights of the week. You know what I mean? You have Monday games, you have Wednesday games, Friday, Saturday afternoon. So there's always games for me to cover. And when I say cover, some of them we do complete like live streams, with a camera and a couple analysts. And some games I just do like sideline reports, a pregame report, a halftime report. So yeah, to answer your question, there's still plenty of time outside of PA announcing.
What do you got this week? Who are you covering?
I am covering Carlisle at Central Dauphin tomorrow night at Landis Field at Central Dauphin. Homecoming, Thursday night game. I like Thursday night games because it's kind of like bonus football, There's Thursday night games down here all the time. And then I'm actually I'm a free agent on Friday night. I haven't chosen a game yet. And Saturday I'm going to cover the Central Dauphin at Manheim Township girls soccer. I think they're both I think Manheim Township's 9-0 or 10-0. Central Dauphin's like 8-0 or 9-0, defending state champs.
Nice.
And there's a good little side story. Central Dauphin finished 22-2-1 last year. Both their losses were to Manheim Township.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Manheim Township beat them in the district championship game. So now they're both coming in undefeated. So I got to get down there.
That'll be something.
I'm working on being able to broadcast the whole game. I just sent an email out to the athletic director this morning. So hopefully Linglestown Gazette Sports will be live streaming that game.
Where can we find it? Linglestown Gazette Sports.
It's just on Facebook, at least for now, just on Facebook. We've been kind of loyal to Facebook because that's where a lot of the aunts and the uncles and the grandparents, if they're doing social media, the older people, they're doing Facebook. And that's just a fact.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even be able to tell you what Instagram was. They've probably heard of Twitter, but they're not doing Twitter. And we have so many grandparents and just family members and they're able to, sometimes some shows we do and games we do, we'll get a couple thousand followers. So, would we like to expand and add some stuff? Sure. But for now, it works well for us just using Facebook.
If I lived up there, we'd be doing a lot of stuff together.
You better believe it. Dave and I did one of the greatest.
What's that, honey?
PIAA postseason sporting events ever. I think we did the State College or the Central Dauphin versus North Penn 2019 softball quarterfinals game at Moravian. Dave, was it
Moravian College? Yes.
11 innings, 4 extra innings. Central Dauphin beat them. What was it 3-2, 3-1? I think it was 3-1. But what a game! Central Dauphin went on to win the state championship.
I remember that.
Their pitcher, Sam Gress, was the player of the year in the state of Pennsylvania. And then what was really, really cool is that Maddie Volpe, she was a sophomore at the time for North Penn. 2 years later, when she was a senior, they were able to win a state championship as well. So both of those pitchers that Dave and I saw battling that day led their teams to state championships. It was awesome.
Burman, are you doing anything?
Yeah, Maddie Volpe's now at Penn State. She transferred.
Did she really? Wow.
Public address announcer for the big Bayard Ruston Westchester at Coatesville High School football game.
That should be a really good one.
Can Ruston beat them? They got Chase Hatton, unbelievable running back. State College. I mean, Coatesville's just a bigger school. It's going to be really tough for Ruston. Really tough, and they have a great program. Mike St. Clair has been there forever. They only started in 2006. That was their first year at Ruston High School. And Coatesville has Mr. Ortega, as you know, and his son's a quarterback, sophomore, work in progress, but he's getting better every game. And they got their butts kicked in by Central Dolphins. So the key for Coatesville, the two big games coming up. After this one, they got Downingtown East, who beat State College, and Downingtown West.
By 2. They beat State College by 2. From what I heard, the State College kicker had a 55-yard field goal at the very end. It fell just a couple yards short.
Yeah.
So that's about as close of a game as you're going to get, you know?
Yeah, it was 28-7 at one time. Total domination.
It finished 28-26,
Total
maybe.
Domination by Downingtown East, 28-7, and they cut it all the way. Yeah, they just never let up State College. And grinded and then almost won the game. And last year, State College beat them down at Downingtown East like in double overtime. Unbelievable game. So yeah, it's a lot of great games coming up, and including Mifflin County and Central Dolphin in at legendary Mitchell Field. You guys
Cedar
don't have
Cliff.
a good feeling for that game at all.
Cedar Cliff.
So, who did I say? Oh, I wish it
said
was
Central
Central Dolphin. Maybe someday. Yes. Yeah, Cedar Cliff. You guys have a. You really think your Huskies have no chance? That's not good. Good to say.
I think they could if Cedar Cliff comes out and plays sloppy and turns the ball over and that, but I think it's going to come down to the line like it does in most football games. And you know, I saw Cedar Cliff. I saw a stream of them. I just think that they've got a more physical offensive and defensive line.
Yeah. Well, who's going to win Harrisburg? Right.
Maybe they'll prove me wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. Even Kenny went against Mifflin County. What I'm surprised. Harrisburg, Altoona this weekend. What do you think of that one, Joey?
49-6. Somewhere in that area.
I would agree with Joe on that one. I don't think Altoona is going to put up a fight with Harrisburg.
It's usually
all.
Over the years. So yeah.
I mean, Cal's pretty respectful. Well, they just beat Carlisle, I think, 60-7. But yeah, I think they kind of have an axe to grind coming out of that game 2 weeks ago. They're kind of on a mission right now. They're ready to kick some tail in Harrisburg. Yeah, that's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, and there's a history with Altoona and Harrisburg going way back, guys, way back to the 60s, 70s. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, the good old South Central League. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Things going to turn out Friday, and that's and then how about Saturday, Joe? You got anything Saturday?
Yeah, he said
soccer game.
The soccer game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The soccer game. My bad. And what about you, Brian?
I am actually doing Cedar Cliff, Mifflin County.
What are you doing?
Covering the game.
Like the whole game.
Yeah, I'm for the Linglestown Sentinel.
I'm a free agent. I might come up and say hi, introduce myself.
I freelance quite a bit.
Yeah, that might be worth coming up to check that out because I don't have any games planned.
Yeah. And how many Mifflin County has 2 radio stations covering their games. You believe that? They are so blessed up there.
CHX and Big Louie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you have what? How many publications are covering them? Sentinel, and then you guys, Hometown Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny, what are you covering this week?
Well, I haven't made a real decision yet. It's either going to be Cedar Cliff, Mifflin County, or the backyard brawl back up here, Bald Eagle, Bellefonte.
Jeez, Kenny.
Oh,
the Red Raiders are going to get crushed. It's not going to be like Penns Valley last week.
No, I know. They're not going to sneak up on Bald Eagle like that.
But, hey, Joe, it was great meeting you. Please come back. We can riff on whatever you want to riff. I appreciate you taking the time to come on. I really enjoyed it.
It was a blast, Brian. Thank you. Thank you, Kenny. Dave, it's always a good time to hang with you a little bit for sure.
Thank you, Dave.
Let me
and my wife in the background.
Central Dauphin, I want to shout out. He's not listening, but I'll shout him out anyway. Central Dauphin girls soccer coach Chris Jones. They just beat Carlisle tonight 4-0. They've now moved to 8-0 on the season and outscored their opponents 43-0.
Oh man! Oh man!
After eight games.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That is 43
I might
zip.
see you on Friday. I might come up there on Friday. I'll stop in and say hello if I'm up there.
I got your email and stuff, so we can communicate.
Okay, sounds good.
Burman, I'm not going to invite you. I'm not going to invite you back. I know you'll be back, Dave. Hey, tell your wife, Dave. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want me? Yeah.
Dave.
Thank you.
Tell your wife.
Yes.
I hope she's doing well.
Yes.
She's doing good.
And I'm going to send her a
She's doing
Trump
good.
button when we get back to the White House.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh boy. Okay. Well. Anyway. Oh boy. Yeah. It's That is. That's funny.
I wanted to make your night tonight really special. Oh, geez. She probably killed him. I think he froze.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, thank you
Your
guys.
face is up on this thing, though, guys.
There you go. You finally came back on. I just said I wanted to make it. You have a nice night with your wife tonight. Get her all fired up.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
See you, buddy.
Talk to you later, brother.
Guys. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
See you.
See you, Dave. Hey, Kenny.
Hey.
We ran over, but we'll do it quick.
Okay.
Let's do our football stuff. I would hate not to do it. First, I'm going to advertise Jed Donahue, his Pennsylvania Sports Network. He's back on the air. I think it's pasports.net, something like that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But he's on the radio again. He was behind a paywall. Now it's all free. Check it out. His website has what stations are broadcasting it, where he's streaming from. And the state rankings from our buddy Billy Splain, the PA football news. We have in District 6 a couple honorable mentions and a couple rankings. In 6A, State College is an honorable mention. AAA Central is number 9 in the state. AA Richland is number 3. Bald Eagle area number 6. And Penns Valley is an honorable mention. Scores from last week. Moshannon Valley got crushed by Mount Union 42-0. State College 31-13 over Central Dauphin. Bald Eagle area 42-20 over PO. And I covered that for Kenny. It wasn't that close. Juniata 35-14 over Halifax. And Mifflin County 20-10 over Palmyra. And one you covered, Kenny, Penns Valley over Bellefonte 20-19 in a game that none of us expected to be that close.
Oh, no, that was one hell of a game for both teams. It wasn't that Penns Valley played that bad, but it was that Bellefonte played that well. That new quarterback, Liam Halterman, showed that he wasn't just a one-game wonder.
Yeah, I know. I saw his stats. This kid, where the heck was he? Why didn't he start the season at quarterback?
I don't know. He spent the last season as second quarterback, too.
Stupid.
Yeah. So, but they're going to win a couple games before it's all said and done.
Well, they're actually starting to get an offense now, and the offense is him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw he passed for a touchdown, I think, and ran for one.
Yep.
Yeah, my game, Bald Eagle Pens Phillipsburg. Phillipsburg scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter when Bald Eagle area had their subs in. It was not close. It was 42-6 at halftime, and Jesse Nagel called off the dogs. But I did see in Phillipsburg 2 young running backs, Connor Chapman and Parker Lamb, just sophomores, are not bad. Not bad. They're going to win some games in the future because their quarterback, Zeke Myers, is only a sophomore too. So
nice.
They got youth.
Good. And
right.
Hopefully start getting a bigger team too, having some depth.
Yes. Yeah, but it's just Bald Eagle was just, oh my God, Carson Nagel was on. And then Cale Burns, 11 catches, 206 yards. I mean, 4 touchdowns. It was like they couldn't cover them. All right, our predictions this week. We already went through this one, Cedar Cliff and Mifflin County. You took Cedar Cliff. Since I'm doing the game, I will not give a score, but I'm going to take Cedar Cliff. Next up, Central Dauphin East, 3-2. Travels to the Little Lions to State College to take on the Little Lions of State College. And we talked about Corkery, Bud. And this past week, soon as I find him, he was 22 of 28 for 221 yards and a touchdown. Ty Salazar, 10 catches, 110 yards. Michael Gall, 4 for 48 and a touchdown. Sheffy only had 56 yards, but he scored 2 touchdowns.
Well, that's good. The less you can use Sheffy him for the later on in the season, the better.
Yeah, I still think the way they're passing and that, and it's great that they found the passer. But Sheffy missed that Downingtown West game, and I still think he's banged up.
Mm.
You know, remember last year he had it was like 900-yard games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be All-State College. I'm going to say 51-7.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm going to say 49-3.
Next up, the Eagles, 5-0 against Bellefonte, 0-5. Bellefonte is hosting. They do have their quarterback. That's great, but they do not have the horsepower to hang with the Eagles. And I am going to take Bald Eagle area all the way. They're going to win this 42-14.
Yeah, because like I said before, the Bald Eagle is not going to be snuck up on.
No.
Like when P.O. got him. So I'm going to say it's going to be Bald Eagle. If you're Bellefonte, you just want to see the team playing hard for 4 quarters and still see an improvement. But I'm going to say it's going to be 42-14.
Hey, we agreed.
Dang.
Same score. All right, probably the game in our area tomorrow night. Penns Valley, 4-1, travels to take on the Bison of Clearfield, 4-1. Clearfield, Penns Valley has their big 3,
mm-hmm.
and actually Clearfield has their big 3. Jackson Romig, the quarterback for Penns Valley. Ty Watson had 110 yards last week. He's got 710 yards and 7 touchdowns for the season. And Meyer had 5 catches, 36 yards and a score. But Clearfield, they beat Huntington 44-20. And Will D'Amico, the quarterback, threw for 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he also ran for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Carter Freeland, 6 catches, 172 yards, 2 scores. And Brady Collins, their tailback, is their big 3. This is going to be a great game, a close game. But honestly, Penns Valley, buddy, after that loss to Bald Eagle area has looked a little bit off kilter. They struggled against Phillipsburg, and they almost lost to Bellefonte. Being on the road against a good Clearfield team, I'm actually going to take Clearfield in this, and I'm going to say it's going to be 26-23.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit there because it's 2 weeks that Penns Valley has had these close games. They were just 6 inches away from losing against Bellefonte on a 2-point conversion there late in the game against Bellefonte. I don't see a Coach Tobias team getting a loss out of this one. It just doesn't sit well. They weren't happy about how the game ended last week. They were lucky to get a win. Coach wasn't very happy, and the players weren't very happy. So a lot of times that's when you have your best practices survive against the team you should have just definitely beat up on. So I'm going to say they're going to top Clearfield, but it is going to be like a 28-27 game.
Okay. Next up, Juniata 2-3 goes to James Buchanan 1-4. The Rockets. Juniata 2 in a row. They're going to get 3 in a row. They're going to get 3 in a row. They're out of the really tough part of their schedule, and it's just pretty much that James Buchanan doesn't have anything to stop them. They lost 49-7 last week to state-ranked West Perry, but last week, Juniata has been throwing through the air, and last week they had Aaron Zeller run for 96 yards and a touchdown. He also threw for 117 and 3 touchdowns. So I do not see them having any kind of struggle at all here. I'm going to say 51-6, Juniata.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you there. The hard part's over for Juniata. It's some teams now that they can beat up on and head down the road to the postseason high gear. I'm going to say it's going to be 49-7.
All right. Next up, Mount Union 4-1 travels to Glendale. The Vikings 1-4, and Bryce Danish, the quarterback for Mount Union. He's a quarterback in name only because he running quarterback. Last week, in their win over Mo Valley, he had only 8 carries, but had 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he has 651 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns on the year. Combine that with Josh Ryan, who had 2 touchdowns last week, and Jay Sean Robinson, who has 8. They are a clear running team. The Trojans, 4-1 on the year. Great start to the season for the Trojans. They take on Glendale. Had their first win of the season last week against Southern Huntington, 47-12. It doesn't matter. This thing, Glendale has really not much. I'm trying to be as polite as I can. It's going to be all Mount Union, and I'm going to say 38-0.
Okay.
Shut them out.
Yep. I am here again. I'm right there with you. I'm going to keep going for Mount Union until they prove me wrong. I think this is going to be a gimme for the Trojans, and I'm going to say 42-14.
All right. Final game on tap. The Bellwood Annis Blue Devils. When would you ever expect to see Bellwood 0-5? That's a team that's been under past coach John Hayes, a District 6 powerhouse. 0-5, taking on the Mounties 1-4 last week. I mean, Bellwood Annis got beat 34-0 by Tyrone. As I said about Theo, young guys, Zach Myers, a sophomore, Sam McDonald, running back, junior, Parker Lamb, sophomore, Colton Chapman, sophomore. Myers, just a sophomore. They don't throw much, about 8-9 times a game. You combine them with senior Jacody Jones, and they're going to try to run the ball down the throat of Bellwood Annis. And honestly, Bellwood's even worse off than Glendale. So I think Phillipsburg's going to get win number 2. Win number 2, and it's going to be 35-13.
The Mounties, yeah, the Mounties are in like a similar position to where Juniata was, where they had a couple of games where they played just world beaters, like in Bald Eagle and Penns Valley. Now you got them up against Belt, and I just see win number 2 as well, but I think it's going to be close, 28-21.
All right, and that does it for our predictions. Do you have any shout-outs, my friend?
I sure do.
All right, wait. You know what we got to do. All right, the Ducks, and we have Kenny Varner with his shout-outs. Go ahead, buddy.
All right. Shout out to PO's standout volleyball player Reese Hazelton, who continues just to tear things up for the Mounties. Yesterday, she dominated in their win against a tough Bald Eagle team, and proves that she is one of the best volleyball players in Central Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
Second shout out is soccer player Ray Flower. She led the way, posting 2 goals and an assist against on Tuesday. Next one is a shout out to the Mifflin County volleyball team, their all-time win, their 8th win of the season here. I believe it was yesterday. So congratulations. Next one goes to Bellefonte boys soccer player Brady Wirtz, as he posted a hat trick against Chestnut Ridge.
Is that it, my friend?
Oh, nope. Got 2 more here real quick. Got names that be familiar to a lot of people. Liberty swimmer and former Juniata standout Sydney Houts, starting her senior season competing against Florida State in Tallahassee, and then they'll be playing going against Georgia Tech and TCU as well. So she'll be swimming the 100 and the 100-yard back and the 50 free. She'll also be a part of some relays here for Liberty University. So good luck this season, and I'm sure you'll do well. And then the last one is one of those players that people will remember is Central Michigan field hockey goalie Colette Beeler. She had 10 saves against Big Ten foe Michigan State. So congratulations, everyone, for
Kenny.
Yes.
Okay, you've faded out for a second.
Oh.
Call it a Beeler. Her dad is Steve Beeler, who was a state champion wrestler for Mount Union.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, comes from an athletic family. But I have to apologize to everybody. We were going to live stream Kenny's special needs game, but some health issues flared up with me again, and we had to put a no-no to it. But we are going to stream one of Kenny's games. Did we decide which one?
Not yet. We're just going to leave that kind of open.
Yeah, we are going to get out there and do it. It's just sometimes my body says, ha, Carson, here you go. And stops me from doing stuff. So We're going to get that. We apologize. But Kenny, it's been 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year.
Has it flown by or what?
Yeah. We are starting year number 2 next Wednesday. We're going to have Craig Bubb, the new Juniata softball coach. We're going to talk to him. And kind of a surprise, Erin Cressman resigned to go back home. She's from the New England area and Massachusetts, to be exact. And Craig, her assistant, is the new head coach of Juniata, and he's going to inherit a heck of a team.
Yeah, it is.
State runner-up, so
that's going to be exciting once that season starts, though. See how they do.
Yeah. But we're going to have a little bit of spring in the fall here with Craig Bubb next week. All right, that's going to about wrap it up. You're listening to the Press Box. We thank you, as always, for tuning in. This is our 1 year anniversary already, and it flew by. And we hope you tune in to us next week and enjoy the high school football this Friday. You're listening to the Press Box. I almost said, the Husky Hotline. With I'm Brian Carson, my co-host Kenny Varner. We thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week and an even better weekend. Take care.
Good night, everybody.